Hey everyone, this video is going to encompass a few weeks. Week 3 of the estate processing. We had a vacation scheduled, so we traveled down to the Caribbean, which was a really nice break. I mean, it was something that we had planned before, and it could not have come at a better time. So that third week we were away. Coming back that fourth week, I mean, it was not pleasant returning. Like, everything came rushing back. And that's when we got more into really systematically getting into the house and being like, how's this going to work? Eventually we planned on just going room to room. My father had an office and a bedroom. Figured just start up there in the corner of that house and start going through things. Much more difficult than we had realized. There was just a lot of things you pull out and you're like, what is this? Can this be thrown out? It's quite mentally exhausting. I will say during that time period where we were just throwing things out and going through things, it pays to pay attention. My wife found a additional insurance policy from a previous employer my father had. The documentation was from about 9 years ago, so it was well past when he retired. So we believe that that was still valid. It's a tiny bit amount of money, but I mean, it's going to help because in the fourth week, of course, now we get the bill from the funeral parlor, and we're still waiting for the other primary insurance policy to be processed. So yeah, I guess lesson there is just, you really kind of need to just look at everything. It takes a lot of time, but if we were just going in there and just like, whatever, we're done with the paperwork, we'd be missing out on potentially whatever this, few $1,000s that's going to help pay for the funeral costs. So yeah, it just illustrated we really need to be careful and systematic as we go through. The same time that was going on, just got out there and started getting the landscaping going. And as I'll mention in other videos, now as this is week 8, I'm making the week 3 and 4 video. The landscaping looks great. So prepping, you're starting to finally see some results and benefits of putting all this effort in a couple months afterwards. So sticking with it, getting stuff done in those 3 to 4 weeks after the passing of the parent, it's definitely going to feel like a slog, but that's the time period we actually started getting somewhere. I'll mention in a coming video that I did abandon the room by room approach. I mean, it was beneficial, but you're doing one room and you're turning around, you're looking at everything else is untouched. And it's just, I think mentally it helped me to just take a break from that and go do a quick sweep around the house for easily identifiable trash items. So yeah, I guess there I learned in the 3rd or 4th week that, you be flexible. Your mental health is going to be under a lot of pressure as you get into a month into the process. Yeah, in the 3rd and 4th week, we were still just, starting to feel like I wasn't getting anywhere. I think that was a little bit of when the pressure starts building. We came back from that vacation and then you still see all these problems still sitting there. And looking back at it from where I am now, well, we kept our nose to the grindstone, kept going, and the benefits will start to show up. So 3 and 4 weeks in was pretty tough. Actually, we have a daughter too, and this is really affecting her. And I'll have another video. I took some notes on things I wouldn't really think about, like, how other people are dealing with their emotions. I'm not a highly emotional person. I'm able to just shut my emotions off and most of the time. It works well. Other times I realize I'm completely ignoring other people's emotions. So make a little video about maybe how I could have better dealt with people around me during this time period. But yeah, so I don't have any notes for week 3 and 4. I guess what I do remember is there was the car. The car is just sitting in the driveway. My father's car is not one that we wanted, we didn't need. There was still about $15,000 owed on like a 2016 Subaru. Reaching out and expecting the bank that had the car loan to just come get it, and that dragged out for weeks. You know, that process took weeks, and we had just very similar to this to life insurance. You thought all the paperwork was there, you thought it was all set, and then you're not hearing anything from these people, and you call up and they're like, oh, we're waiting on this, or we need this. It's like, you already have that, and it's just sitting on someone's desk, on their laptop. Their computer system hasn't moved. So don't be afraid to call these people and just poke them, be like, what's going on here? And you know, sometimes they're overwhelmed too, and people are just humans. They forget, and things are done incorrectly, and it gets put to the wayside. So keep circling back. I think that we have to keep pushing some things forward in the 3rd and 4th week, reviewing things, and still doing that in the 8th week. And the car was finally repossessed. So, I mean, that was a big thing, because my plan was to remove the car from the garage, use the garage as a staging area for a lot of trash and other things. It was just kind of just an area to really get some things out of that house. I did moving for 10, 15 years, well, 15 years. And, you know, suddenly you start packing up a house, it's going to fill up fast with boxes, and you need some sort of an area. We didn't want to get a storage unit, or like I didn't want to get a storage unit. I think that's something that people just naturally think, we need a storage unit. Maybe you do. We had some space to expand into. Problem with a storage unit, I don't think I've ever seen anything useful or valuable in a storage unit long term. You know, if you're going to get storage, it needs to be like for under 3 months, really. Like, you got to don't just put it in there and forget about it. Like, they are billing you monthly, and that is going to add up. I did not want to turn around and have that stuff sitting in storage for a year and then be like, oh, we spent $2,000 this year on storage, and go in there and just end up paying somebody to take it all because we didn't need any of it. So trying to save some money by not getting storage. If you are going to get storage, be very mindful. Don't just let it slide. Don't let it sit there. You're better off taking stuff to Goodwill. You know, ask people at work, like, do you want any of this? Have them come by, look at some things, you know, just many hands makes light work. You know, that's my advice for that. So weeks 3 and 4, yep, kind of stressful. Feel like you're not gonna ever get this done. But, you know, you're in it, you'll get through it. And we're gonna check out the next video where I detail how things just keep rolling. Thanks for watching.